Hello friends, welcome to the shed. I'm Chevy. Hi. If you're new here, welcome. Please pull up a seat and stay a while. Hit the subscribe button. That way you can come hang out with us every day. Yeah. So, yesterday's video, the David Picciuto interview. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I had a blast with that whole process. I had a blast reaching out to David, asking him to do it, writing the questions, hearing his responses, all that stuff. It was not shot live. It was actually, he recorded his part, I recorded my part, edited it together. I had a blast editing it. Stayed up super late that night, piecing it all together to make it look like a interview. So, today, I want to talk about another way that David has inspired me. Partially David's responsibility. David is in a podcast called the Making It Podcast with Bob Claggett and Jimmy Diresta, two other famous YouTube woodworker maker people. Their podcast comes out on Fridays, so definitely check out tomorrow's episode. But, check out all the past episodes. Every Friday, the new episode releases, and it's the three of them talking about whatever. Most times it's obviously about making. The podcast is called Making It. Last week's episode was about logos, and it really made me think about logos differently. Not differently, it just made me think about them. Because it's always been something that I've been cognizant of my entire life. They talked about brand identification and how a logo could remind somebody of you or who you are without knowing anything else about you or your brand, just being able to see that logo. That's not really what I intended to say. Without any wording, without any text, they could just see your logo and immediately know that belongs to whoever. In particular, like Bob Claggett had for I Like to Make Stuff, his logo is this really cool like circuitry M, and it's immediately that's Bob Claggett. You don't have to really think about it. And so logos have always been sort of a pet peeve of mine. If you look, like none of my tools have logos. I've removed them. They have stickers over them or tape, or I've written my name on them because I like to keep track of my stuff. There are some, I would say, that have brands on them somewhere, but for the most part, I've never been the type of person to wear branded things. Because to me, why would I go buy a hat with a beer brand on it, or whatever? Why would I advertise for that company for nothing? There's no reason for me to do it. And so there's, television and movies, you have, I'm sure you've seen it. Greeking out is covering of logos, and it used to be just a bunch of grips set down with tape and covered over brands. Now it's done digitally. It's still called Greeking out, but you Greek out logos. And the reason is, one, that company hasn't paid you to advertise their product, so you don't want to give them a free spot. Two, lots of brands want you to pay them licensing to use their logos. Or they don't want their products associated with you or whatever it is you're making, or they don't want their products shown in a particular way. Like maybe a high-end car company doesn't want their cars to appear in the slum, so you have to take their logos off, whatever. It's called Greeking out. And I Greek out most things that I own just because I don't want to look at that stuff. And I don't want people to think because I use this is a Harbor Freight air nailer, because I use a Harbor Freight air nailer, that I endorse it. I'm not going to tell you to go buy this thing. If you have the money, go buy a better one. So But the funny thing is, right now, I'm wearing a branded t-shirt. And this is one of my favorite musical groups, Flogging Molly. But Flogging Molly is a band, but they don't have a logo. They don't have... I mean, this is just a t-shirt. And this isn't like their stylized, whatever. It's just a skull and crossbones with a name on it. Most bands don't have logos. If I said Nine Inch Nails, you've probably seen the NIN, and you would immediately recognize that symbol anywhere you were and know what that was. If I showed you a few more of my Flogging Molly shirts, you wouldn't associate any of them together as a group that represents Flogging Molly unless you knew Flogging Molly already and saw the shirt. So the shirt is only recognizable to fellow fans. And that's kind of the reason why people like to wear things. It's like I feel like I'm part of something. So I put the shirt on and I go around and somebody recognizes it. Hey, I love that shirt. And you go, hey, thanks. Yeah, haha. We know we like the same thing. That's cool. But I've always been of the opinion that, around here, I live in West Virginia. I live in the mountains and rural culture is king here. So, for instance, Fox Racing. Fox Racing is a brand, and Fox Racing clothing is huge here. As a consumer, why would I pay a company to wear their logo? But no, you should pay me, or you should give it to me to advertise for you. I'm not going to pay a company money whose products I purchase to advertise for them. That just doesn't make sense to me. So Greeking Out does make sense to me in some respects. Here, I don't have to really worry too much. It's not like I'm an authority on tools or whatever that people are going to watch my videos and see something and be like, oh, I got to go buy that because Chevy has it. Nobody's doing that. But for larger YouTube channels now, you'll see a lot of Greeking. You'll see people covering up a lot more often because people say, oh, well, you have that, so you must endorse it. No. Or people accuse YouTubers of, oh, you must be, how was your endorsement of, how much money did you make for showing that on camera? This is a Samsung Galaxy whatever and a spec case. They're not going to give me money. They don't care about me. I'm just some guy on YouTube. But if Casey Neistat held this phone up in this case, then he probably got paid for it. Maybe. And it's, it is the responsibility of the brand and the person who is promoting a brand to fully disclose that this is a paid endorsement. Okay? But I'm not, I am a long way away from ever having paid endorsements on the show. But I just really, I wanted to show you another side of David, who I interviewed yesterday, his channel or his podcast with Bob and Jimmy, and there's a lot of knowledge available on the internet for free. And it amuses me that brand logos are not available for free. I don't know. What do you think about it? Tell me, do you wear branded clothing? Do you enjoy showing off, do you have your Budweiser shirt because you enjoy showing off Budweiser? I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not going to wear a DeWalt shirt unless DeWalt gives it to me. So I'm not going to go buy one, I'm not going to promote something for somebody else. What are your thoughts on that matter? I'd love to hear them. Put that in the comments. So, that's it. That's what I have for today. Just wanted to talk about brands and logos. Hopefully that made some sort of sense. I'm not positive that it did. Please tell me if it didn't. That's what the comment section is for. While you're down there, don't forget, if you like this video and all my videos, give them a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. That means the world to me. And send me some stuff for Friday. Friend Fridays. I'd love to have more pictures and stories and videos and whatever to share with you. I have some stuff I can cover tomorrow if nobody sends anything, but at this current juncture, I just have a few Q&A type things and no media, so send me something to show off tomorrow. I'd love to have it. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact, wikipedia.org. Which country has 11 time zones? 11 time zones? We have 4. I thought that. Well, maybe we have more than 4. Oh, we have like Hawaii. Forgot about Hawaii. Okay, we have more than 4. 11 time zones. Time zones of a country include that of dependent territories, except Antarctic claims, because nobody lives there. France has the most time zones with 12. What? France has dependent territories? I'm showing my American ignorance here. On March 28th, 2010, Russia eliminated 2 time zones going from 11 to 9, but still has the most contiguous time zones. I gotta go learn more about France, because I thought France was just France.